we got to touch on this breaking news. Obviously, Masenko just sent through a super chat. He said the Grizzlies just fired Taylor Jenkins. I'm confused. And this comes in light or comes right after they lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is the best team in the NBA. So I don't know if this adds any context to it, but the Thunder beat the Grizzlies last night, 125-104. No Ja Morant.
It gotta be something.
This is badass GM. What is something? What is something?
Some bigger than basketball.
Badass GM.
You got to hold on for that though, Jordan, because I think to like what SB saying, if something happened. You know what I'm saying? The playoffs about to start.
Badass GM.
You don't fire your coach.
We don't know what happened. It's no way that this is just straight basketball related.
Yeah, this has to be like behind the scenes.
But
Maybe
regardless,
don't like him. This has to be.
But hold on, regardless though.
Somebody's wife.
I get what you're saying though.
Regardless though, whether unless it's somebody, unless it's somebody's wife, like what Ime did. But hold on, but they fired Ime in a different context. But
we got to know that if the playoffs are about to start in 2 weeks, there's no, and I can't speculate.
That's crazy. That's bad.
But hold on, bro. You can't just say that's bad GMing because the simple fact that the playoffs about to start in a couple weeks, right? They couldn't have just fired Taylor for just basketball reasons. Like to your point, Jordan, if that's the case, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even okay, but it's not even. But listen, hold on, because I want to get my point across for somebody misconstrue what I'm saying. It's not just about. Even if it's not even about basketball, you got 2 weeks into the playoffs. That's number one. A guy who's been with your team for the last 5 years. You got 2 weeks into the playoffs, and you fire your coach, even if it was something outside of basketball. Unless it's something that's, and if it was, maybe we seen a goddamn police report or something. But, bro, play out the season. Play out the season and then fire your guy.
It's not just 2 weeks to the playoffs. It's 9 games, and they're 15 games above 500.
Yeah,
they're not playing bad.
What possibly could it be unless he about to go to jail? He about to go to prison,
and they're winning a lot of these games without their supposed max superstar Ja Morant. They have been for years,
right? But he must be going to prison. He got to be going to prison. That got to be the only reason why he got fired.
Grizzlies fans,
because that's insane,
bro.
I
disagree with his rotations here and there, but I think he's a heck of a basketball coach. The fact that he's won all these games the last 3 years, even with Ja missing half the game sometimes. With his roster in the brutal West to get this record, it feels like when they're at least somewhat healthy, they're a top 2 to 4 seed every year. Yeah. He's achieved a lot. And for him to be 15 games above 500 and to be fired right before we're about to put on the boxing
going
glove,
to jail then.
Something's got to be wrong, bro.
He got to done something that's crazy. Like, bro, even if he rubs some people the wrong way,
there's 1,000 reasons. There's 1,000 ways.
Man, if he rubs some people the wrong way, 2 weeks, bro, we figure out what you did, and in the playoffs, after you done, we firing you that day. Yeah. This is bad. This is bad timing, bro.
Swiper, talk to us. How you feel about the situation?
Wasn't all indication, nothing off the field or off the court. There were some things about the locker room being lost.
That's what I'm thinking.
And there were some things about the reporters had been indicating for the last few weeks. Yada yada yada. But many people feel like it's a bad firing, but it's not.
It's 9 games, Swiper.
No, I'm
9
not saying
games
that.
in, you lost the locker room and you the 5th seed.
I feel like you should probably let people finish the.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it, even if
I was
lost
saying that I think that there's nothing indicating off court, but I do think a lot of people feel that it's not a good timing, good firing period. But it's more so like locker room related stuff apparently.
That's crazy.
Like guys didn't want to play for him or something because this is crazy, Swiper.
Yeah, I mean, just
man.
One of the assistant coaches are going to take over from here.
Well, there had already been things. Mars was, he had speculated this before about potential locker rooms. There were some things about the assistant coaches had more voice in some things than he did, and so they just didn't feel like the fit was there anymore or whatever. But like I said, a lot of people don't agree with the timing. Nonetheless, the playoffs are about to start.
Badass GM, bro. That's a badass collective group of management. Like, y'all all got together and ain't nobody said, guys, what the hell are we doing? We the 5th seed.
That's why
it's 9 games left.
Worse. That's why the locker room stuff has to be like a lot worse than we think. Because there's no.
You're not babysitting kids. I mean, it can't be that bad.
It has to be a lot worse than we think.
I did. If you say the assistant coach got more voice, what you think? Now the Grizzlies just gonna get 2 times better because it's a different voice. Ain't nothing gonna change at this point of the season. You could just finish the season now.
Well, the Grizzlies have an interesting
They
locker
lost
room.
5 of their last.
Yeah.
They
do
lost
have an
5 of their
interesting-
they lost 5 of their last 7 games, and we can't act like we haven't seen dissension amongst players, and that has not caused the coach to get fired immediately. Nah, this is something.
Not
that's
9
been going
games
on
left
for
in the
quite a while.
season, and they're a playoff team, though. I don't think I ever seen that.
I think Taylor Jenkins. I think he was on the hot seat, and we didn't know it. And I think that they expected a lot more from this crew than they getting. And with that,
What
with that
could
being
they
said,
expect, Chill?
I mean, they lost 5 of their last 7 games.
Well, where's Ja?
We give-
The hell is Ja?
But they
Morant?
still this Memphis Grizzlies are still
I
fifth.
think that has a lot to do with it. The fact that Ja has not been in the lineup over the last 3 years. You know, they were the number 2 seed, got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Then last year they didn't make the playoffs because of the Ja Morant nonsense. And maybe they're looking at Coach Jenkins like maybe there's a reset here that needs to be had. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved off of Ja this summer. That wouldn't surprise me. That would
Definitely surprise me, but
that would not surprise me if they moved off of Ja this summer. No,
I
that would
should be
not.
shocking.
After Luka got traded, anybody else getting traded don't surprise me. No
That
more.
would not surprise
Now it would
me
be
if they moved off
surprising
of Ja.
because it's like, what the hell, bro? Memphis is I don't get that. Memphis.
No, but
that's
also
not
you
a
got to
good
think
move.
about what I don't know.
Some
how
franchises
the DPOY
just make
race,
bad decisions.
The DPOY race looking, but if Triple J get that extension that he supposed to get is gonna be crazy. If he win that award, so that's gonna change a lot of things if he get that contract that he wants. So Ja could move just off the strength of that too.
Some franchises just make really badass decisions, bro. And it's like that'd be the tale of like why they franchises never win shit. You just make bad decisions, bro.
We've seen coaches. No, we have not. This is the first time I've seen anything like this. I've seen coaches get fired in the middle of the season, right? I mean, I just heard Doc Rivers. I don't know if that was a troll or something like that, but Doc Rivers was asking. He was asked what happened when he got the head coach job with Milwaukee, and he said he asked them, why are you guys doing this? Like Doc ain't had nothing to do with that firing. Give me a break. But anyway,
I don't think he did. I genuinely think Doc just didn't like Doc was like, why are you doing this? Like, seriously. Like, bro, there's no reason why the Bucks fired Adrian Griffin. Other than Giannis didn't like him, probably. Maybe Thanasis didn't like him.
Well, when your best player is not getting along with the coach, I mean, that's definitely a problem.
I got to make a Jerry Cross executive decision and say, I don't give a damn right now. Let's just win.
Yeah.
According to Bobby Marks, this is his stats that he found. They are 8-11, the Grizzlies post All-Star break, which is not good. It's pretty much like 3 games below 500. But Ja's missed 8 of those games, and overall in the season, they're 28-15 with Ja, but without him, they're 16-14.
So 2 games over 500.
What I'm seeing is where the hell is Ja during this losing streak?
Yeah.
You can blame the coach, but I see the team without.
You can't blame the
supposed
coach for Ja
superstar.
Morant being out.
I
That's what I'm
see
saying.
a team without their supposed superstar. During
People
the
blame Tibbs for people being out all the time.
No, he
Yeah,
get him out
no,
though.
that's what
He
we
get
did.
his
Don't
out
do
though,
that.
Mars.
Don't do that.
Mars, he
Well,
get
you
their ass
definitely
out.
can't blame the coach
Nah.
for people being out.
But not in this context, Mars.
No,
Not in this
you-
context.
That's because it's Tibbs'
You can
fault.
blame the,
That's
you
why.
can blame the coach for
Yeah,
whatever
you
you
wild
want
for
to,
that,
but
Mars.
that's
That's
not a
the
good
easiest
reason to blame the coach.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, I
you play
agree.
the Bills, right?
I
It's a
agree.
Tuesday night against the Washington Wizards, and you to start he playing you 48 minutes. Why are you playing your star player 48 minutes on a Tuesday night against the Washington Wizards?
Man, for
And
one
then-
of the Iron Men in the NBA to say, chill
Hey,
out
bro,
with
you
all these
wild.
damn minutes, bro, that's crazy as hell, bro.
Who said
For
that,
one
Jordan?
one of the most Iron Man in the NBA say, hey, bro, chill out with all these damn minutes, bro. Like, at some point, Tibbs, everybody not like you, because I done heard stories about Tibbs. His ass spend a night in the office. He don't fucking go home. He didn't get married. This dude didn't get married because he basically wanted his basketball career. So he think everybody got to be like him for Bridges to be like, hey, bro, Tibbs, bro, this shit ain't cool.
He
Chill.
treat every game like it's game 7, bro. He
Like,
wanna win
dog,
every
that's
game,
crazy.
bro. I be like, bro,
That's
how you
too
gonna trust
extreme,
other players
bro.
and you don't give him a chance to play, bro. Oh no, I gotta trust my starting five. He gonna play the whole starting five the whole season.
So the last I checked, basketball is a business. They ain't firing him, one, without a replacement, and it might not be right now, but they got somebody in mind who they're replacing Taylor Jenkins with. I think that he was already on the hot seat before the season
It
started.
better be goddamn Mark Jackson, because who else?
It got to be somebody, because I don't think that you fire somebody. I don't think you fire somebody. Good businesses don't replace. Good businesses don't let people go. Good people without having a replacement. That doesn't happen.
Man, it got to be Mark Jackson. Might be the only one that can rehabilitate Ja.
There's a bunch of coaches available right now.
So I think that they're ready to move. If they're ready to move on from him, they're ready to move off of him because they already know who they're ready to move off of him with.
Mike Brown, who got fired for losing the locker room. That Mike Brown?
Mike Brown got fired for some nonsense, bro.
So do they hire another coach? So do they hire another coach right now?
No, they don't. So
why the hell wouldn't they just wait to fire Jenkins?
They're gonna elevate
the dude that was in the second seat moves over to the first seat. Kind of like what happened with Doug Christie.
Who was their assistant coach? Who's the head assistant? Anybody know?
Who is the assistant?
They'll be announcing it soon. Exactly.
I named some casual takes, so I don't know.
So that is a ridiculous, like,
we
decision of management. That's poor management, bro.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.